Hello, Proxy Table Gaming, PTG. I am Hyper G. He is Lucky Sixes. Guess what time it is? Lucky Sixes.
Mega battle time, baby.
Yes, yes,
dun, dun,
yes.
dun. Mega battle
Dun.
in the page.
I think we're doing different songs, but okay. And I'm husky today. It's me that's the husky.
Yeah,
one.
I know, right? For the big,
your hay
big
fever's
battle.
gone, and I'm just losing my voice. So
Yeah, it's crazy.
what do you do when you're losing your voice? You record a mega battle.
Yep. Strap in, folks. This is mega battle time, and oh boy, we have got some mega battle for you.
We are just insane, aren't we? Really, you know.
I know.
I mean, what are we doing here? What are we actually doing here? 50,000 points.
Yeah, for people that might be new to the channel, every 100 or so battle reports,
sometimes every 50, but we forgot.
Sometimes 50 so to 100.
Yeah,
we kind of do a bit, and now for something completely different type thing. Where we just put things together, have a load of fun,
ramp up the levels, and go mental, really, and just see how many models we can fit on whatever tables we've got.
Absolutely.
Really,
and we'll link it at the end of the thing and maybe in the description and stuff. But we've had lots of different types and some narrative based and some things. But this is definitely the most points we've ever had
involved in one battle. Exactly.
So we were very excited. There were not so much in the terms of narrative and characters, but we just a bigger battle royale for the armies that you see. I was Highborns and King of Octane and Beasts, and you were ogres,
orcs, and infernal dwarfs for some reason.
Yeah, such a bit of a thing.
That was a curveball.
It was. We had loads of fun, and we want to bring this battle to you. Before we get started with the actual battle, this was a bit of we tried a different tax in this one because obviously we've had a Patreon over the last year or so, and we want to say huge thanks to everyone that supported us because we really appreciate it, and the fact that you guys sort of comment on our YouTube channels is often enough, but for you guys to go above and beyond, there are a load of other Patreons as well, but special thanks in this video to our Patreons that got involved with the battle itself. We decided to have a team Lucky Sixes and a team Hyper G.
Yep, the good team.
And as you can see, they chose sides, and we were discussing them throughout the battle and before and everything. And thanks for all your input, guys. It made it really fun for us to go. Well, I'll do this, but these guys decided to do this. Oh my goodness!
The full blame culture in operation.
Yeah, absolutely,
100%. And I mean, ideally, I would love. I mean, this was all online. Like messaging via international channels, etc.
Yes.
I would love for one day Proxy Table Gaming to be able to literally rent a town hall and have a mega battle with everyone in the room, and we literally just push models around all together. That would be superb.
It would be amazing.
We'll build towards that. Maybe that'll be like Mega Battle 1000 or
this something. This is our stepping stones to that, I guess.
Exactly.
So just wanted to say before we get started,
massive
huge thanks to you
and
guys.
Anyone who's not a
Patreon
already, they can become a Patreon if they want to, and then they can have a piece of the Mega Battle pie in the future.
For sure. And this has definitely sparked our thirst to do more with the Patreons as well. So do go check it out. It's in the description as always. Thanks to you guys that are already on there, and for anyone that's going to join off the back of this as well, thank you very much. But down to the lists, and now we won't go through these in lots of details because as you can see, it'll take us an hour just to go through these lists. What we'll do is we'll put them up and we'll talk about some of the things in there. So obviously I've gone for as many dragons as possible, and this is pretty much my list actually, my model count, barring I think I could have had one more Swordmaster unit,
I was going to say one more Swordmaster or one more Swordmaster.
Yeah. One more and maybe some Grey Watchers, but otherwise this is pretty much model for model my unit. That's
pretty impressive. Yeah,
really happy with that. So if you want to take a closer look, pause and do. Alongside that, so I chose 15,000 of the High Elves. I chose 7.5 of these KOE, and again model based, and 2 trebuchets. Ooh yeah.
Naturally.
And a load of other stuff as well. And then to top off my 25,000 was a little bit of beast turds, because why not?
It's kind of like your little project that you've been working on.
It is
a year or so, isn't it? So.
Yeah, especially with the Minotaurs as well. So to get the characters in the Minotaurs, I've really put a lot of detail in hobby-wise. So it's been really cool to put them on the table. So I got a unit of 10 Minotaurs.
Wow. I mean, that's nearly your most expensive unit, just coming in right at the end there.
Yeah, crazy. So I had 15,000, 7.5 and 2,500. Loads of magic. I realised
a ridiculous amount
of magic, but yeah, it was good fun. From your point of view?
Yeah, so I split my numbers slightly differently. The memo that we got was basically 25,000 points, 3 armies, wasn't it? That was what we had to work with.
Literally, yeah.
And other than that, we could take whatever we wanted. So that's why our numbers are different. Obviously,
we just had to make it legal-ish.
Yes, legal within their own a new recruit selection, using new recruit, and no magic items twice where possible.
As much as possible, no.
Yeah, I think there might be a couple of ones I might have done wrong on reflection, but it didn't matter too much, because actually I think the only one I might have got wrong is Crystal Ball, and technically that doesn't work twice anyway.
It doesn't stack.
That was actually wasted points. So if I did do that wrong, we might see it. But anywho, yeah. So 10,000 points of orcs. Pretty much all my orcs and goblins as well. Actually, this was using old orcs. It should be noted.
Yes,
because we started the mega battle before the new book, ended it day 2 after the new book, and obviously you're not changing your book halfway through a mega battle.
Yeah.
So old orcs, but nonetheless, everyone loves orcs. Full stop.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So 10k worth of them. I took another 10k of ogres, because recently I bought a whole load of ogres on oval bases, and I basically just moved them over to some square bases that I bought, or rectangular bases that I bought, and that enabled me to get 10,000 of ogres. I mean, I didn't realise I had 10,000 points of OK, but I do, and I managed to get them all in. So there's a lot of Tusker cavalry going on, which I haven't had great success with in the past, but 2 big blocks of bruisers. Love that, right?
Yeah, that's baller. That is, and 3 units of bombardiers, which is cool.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, and then to complete the list with a little bit of a curveball, like I say, is I'm not in love with the dwarves at the moment. The Dwarven Hold army book. I have the models. They just don't get me at all. I don't really enjoy them, and I thought to myself, well, I don't really want 5,000 points of Saurians, because, well, I play Saurians all the time, and that's kind of just my normal Saurian list. So let's vary it up and use some of the Godson, who I played once before, and have a battle report in the future with him, actually. He has Infernal Dwarf models. I have some Dwarf models. Let's just take 5k of Dwarfs, Infernal Dwarfs, and see how they go. And I have to say, I really enjoyed. Like, you'll see how it all pans out, but I really enjoyed playing some Infernal Dwarfs. So, yeah, this was just a bit of a laugh. I don't know how surprised you were to be against Infernal Dwarfs.
It wasn't one of your normal armies, so we were like, whoa, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
As we said, there were a few rules. So we had one part, obviously the 25,000. Once we came onto actually how we were going to do it logistically, because we've got 2 tables.
Table size.
We thought it'd probably be best if we had a blind deployment of 15,000 points for quote unquote day 1, which is when we're saying days, it's like the first 4 turns basically. So we're having 4 turns, a break, and 4 turns is how the actual battle runs. So a blind deployment 15k, and we'll show you how that sort of manifested in the days before. Then from day 2 we'll have reinforcements of 10,000 points.
Yeah.
And in terms of the who wins and things, well, we've got a 20-0 system is still up there, so scaled up to 25k, which means there's I've actually got 0 to 1,250 is 1010. 1,250 to 2,500 is 11.9, etc., etc. Going
well
up
done.
in 2,500s after that.
I mean, I'm not spoiling anything, right? If this had ended 10-10, what a bloody waste of time that would have been.
absolutely. So yeah, no, that was impressive. We've got secure targets, actually spoils, but it was 4 spoils of objectives. Each would give an additional point. So they were completely separate to the 20-0 system.
They were.
Although I guess it was a 17-3 system, actually, thinking about it.
I guess it would have been, yeah. But
yeah.
Same difference anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, so you guarantee 3 points, whoever. One of us. Yeah, so secure target was actually spoils. And then we also had some extra secret objectives that we would roll from, and again we'll get onto that, but each of those that you scored each day, because we had separate ones each day, would give you an extra point as well. So all to play for. There was I guess a total of, if it was 17-3, 25 points that you could score. So
if you got all 4 of the spoils and you got all 4 of your secret objectives, that's an extra 8 points on top of the 17. So
so it was all to play for. The scores were all over the place, it's a good bit of fun.
But mostly we were playing for pride.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the secret. So these are the secret objectives that we had. So
we rolled 3 each day, and then chose the 2 that we wanted.
Yes. Yeah. So these are 4 of them. Is that all you got? Killing their most expensive units, and we'll show you all these. They're, again, just added a bit of fun for us, and these are the next 4 as well. These were completely independent, so you could both score 2 out of 2 on each day, without, to a certain degree, without the other person knowing or having anything to do with it, which was cool.
It was.
I really like this.
I did as well. It was like, I've got a secret objective. I want to try and achieve it, but I don't necessarily want my opponent to guess what my secret objective is, because then it becomes them trying to stop me as well.
Yeah.
Whereas actually, if you kept it really quiet, you might just be able to achieve it without them stopping you, and that's fine. Because but also you got to look out for your enemy to see what they're doing, to see if you can work out what their secret objective is. Are they pushing in a certain place? Are they doing something towards certain types of enemies? Because you got kill all enemies with the Vanguard rule or Scout rule and stuff like that. It's that's some quite quirky things going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really liked it. And this was a suggestion from some of our Patreons as well that were involved. And really, really cool. Really cool. I think this would be cool to have more in 9th Age, I believe.
Yes, but a little bit of narrative as well, without actually being a story.
Yeah. No, very much so. In terms of the blind deployment as well, we sort of did some little bits. So this was an example of my blind deployment, of how I would get into it and sort of things.
You clearly just had too much time in your hands the weekend.
Absolutely.
I literally just wrote mine out.
But so no, it was really cool, and that's sort of how we did it. And then we came to it and we just deployed, because otherwise it would take too long. We'd have a whole day of just deployment.
Absolutely, doing it one by one, I'm going to see the matchup that I'd like.
Yeah, and as well, we didn't want to the roll to go first. We wanted to be completely even.
Yes, exactly. Well. Just straight roll off.
So that was cool. So shall we get to it?
I think we should,
boys and girls. I
think we should.
Yeah. I would say strap in as well to anybody viewing, because this is going to be a long one. This is going to be good. Yes. Deployment as well, and similarly to the lists and things, we're just going to go over this fairly quickly. And if you want to have a more detailed look, pause it and see what stuff is. We'll go over deployment and tell you what things are what. But otherwise, we'll sort of just tell you the highlights as they go on. From my point of view, I've got a Fire Phoenix and a Bolt Thrower behind him that you can't see off screen. Swordmasters, some Archers, Swordmasters in front, and not quite ready for the battle yet, but they will be soon. Sky Sloop Eagle Dragon Mage, which was really cool to get him back out on the field. Lion Chariot, some Reavers, Bolt Thrower, Knights of Rhymer with 2 characters, BSB and a a prince with Kingslayer in there. Archers, a big unit spears, which I was excited to yield. Some Sea Guard as well, which are also always good. And that sort of takes me to the centre stage. Yes. Over to
flank.
I should say as well, I decided to go really simple and just have my high elves.
You did 15,000 points of high elves. Right
so
now.
I went full 15,000 points, which wasn't exactly the case with yourself.
No. I mean, I had 2 armies of 10k and 1 army of 5k. So I actually brought out the Orcs and Goblins 10k, and then the Infernals 5k for my 15. In the top left, you can see the ogres ready to get on. Actually, on the shelf there. We were in my garage, which was just stuffed all around the edges of junk. As I'm sure there'll be some junk pictures on various ones of these. So let's have a look at what I've got. I've got some Nashers. I've got Ball Boys behind the hill. A Spear Chucker, Skura. A Git Launcher, I think, on the hill. Some Ball Boy. Actually, I'm really trying to think of this because I've got new book in my head. So I'm trying to remember what the old book and new book. Yeah, Ball Boys on the hill. They're ferals. I think they were the feral ones. Yes, they were. A massive unit of Spear Common Orcs. Very excited to get those models back out because they have taken a back seat to the ferals recently. Then I've got a little contingent of dwarfs, which is a small unit of Citadel Guard, a bigger unit of Infernal Guard. Is that right?
Warriors, Infernal Warriors.
One's the Flintlock Axes ones, and one's the non-standard guys.
The Flintlocks are in front. Yeah.
The Flintlocks are in front in the water. Yeah, that's right. 2 units of Disciples of Luga, one from the other. One has got the BSB and a Wizard in. They're in front of another Git Launcher. And then I had a Rocket Battery. Then a unit of Nasher Dashers and a Nasher Wrecking Team in front of a Flamethrower, or Napster Thrower for the ID. So that's kind of a little bit of ID in one go. Then I've got 9 Goblin Raiders in front of some Common Orc Ball Boys. The Goblin's Grotto Chariots in front of 6 Cave Trolls. And I think underneath us, or maybe underneath us, is a big unit of Feralocks. They have 3 characters in. The BSB, the General, and my main Wizard for the Ferals. Actually further on in the picture, Orc War Chariot in front of 6 River Trolls. So,
and continuing on, so you've got the War Chariot and the River Trolls.
Oh yeah, I'll continue, shall I? While we're on me, I had a scouting unit of Spider Riders going forward. Then a big unit of Iron Orcs. Love getting them out again. Then I had some more Flintlock Citadel Guard troops. They had the General of the ID and another Wizard in. No, they didn't. No, they were solo, actually, because next to them is the Immortals, who had the ID General and Wizard. And behind them is a Infernal Giant. Behind that is another Napster Thrower. Then a Splatterer. The Saurian models are actually slaves, Infernal slaves. I did an ironic little Saurian thing there. Then a Gargantula. Then I've got some Nasher Dashers. I think I've got a couple of Nasher characters on that side. You can see a couple of them either side of the big unit. Night Goblins, Cave Goblins. What is behind the Nasher Dashers? I can't see what's behind the
Ball Boys and
Ball Boys. Ball Boys. Yep. And then I've got a big unit of Cave Goblins. Behind them is a unit of Cave Goblin Bows. Another Nasher Wrecking Team. in the water with the character behind, and then 2 Nash's units.
Yeah, man.
Ooh.
And yeah, good work. Take a sip. Yeah, and going again from the centre for me, obviously we had the Sea Guard that I'd mentioned. Just on the right, we've got Lion Guard with a spear prince in there. Frost Phoenix. The general of my army is the big ancient dragon. Then I've got Grey Watchers in front, Flame Wardens, Lion Chariot, Cat Claw. Next to them, unit of archers, bolt thrower. The initiate of the Fiery Heart is behind the hill, along with the eagle. I've got some Queen's Guard and archers on the hill, ready to shoot over everything. I was thinking, with some lancers out on the flank and a Griffin Prince on the hill, supporting and helping there. So yeah, no. That's our deployment.
Yeah,
nice,
I mean, funnily enough, Mega Battle 50 was Orcs and Goblins versus Highborn Elves. Orcs had ogres on their side at that point. And we found that the table we had in Mega Battle 50 wasn't quite big enough for the Orcs to deploy properly. So we were very keen, and that's half the reason why we had this reinforcement rule. We were very keen that, you can see the Elves, they've got probably quite a lot of space because they're more elite. They're all, all within smaller units or whatever. And they cost more points per head. But the Orcs, by having a bigger table, we could spread it out more, and it didn't feel like they were too squished up. So
yeah, definitely. On to first turn, and you won first turn.
I got first turn. Yes, already a win for
also,
Team PTG.
So crucial thing, and generally moved up. Chaffing my Knights of Rhyme at turn 1.
I know. Yeah, I mean, how rude, right?
Yeah.
I was actually looking at the lists, and I thought, what do I do with those Goblin Raiders? I don't remember them being on the board. This is what I did with them. They were dead by like half hour in.
Yeah.
Maybe. Spoiler. Maybe they won.
Maybe they win. Maybe
they do. Yeah.
I don't have Stalker standard, to be fair.
No. The Wrecking Team did a good job of not just rolling double 1 in front of me or anything and holding me up. So yeah, the Luger come forward. There's the Vanguard Luger unit. Actually, I think technically the BSB and the Wizard are in the second Luger unit.
They are. Yeah.
This was like the advanced party of Lugers. And same deal on the other side, really. Although it should be said that those Cave Goblins, well, they went real far because I had the good old Crown of the Cavern King, which I knew was an item that was going to be gone in the new Orc book. So this was like a last hurrah. And it's actually a last hurrah to a little tactic that good old Christo talked to us about at our very first tournament, where he said, just stick a unit of Cave Goblins with the Vanguard and a whole load of Madgits, and just literally Vanguard it up, move it forward, and Madgit like crazy into your enemy army, and see what destruction it causes. And I was like, well, that conversation happened 6 years ago, Risto. I remembered it. Let's try it while we've still got a Vanguard Goblin opportunity. And so that is why that Goblin unit has gone for it. And we'll see how they get on in a bit.
Yeah.
Yes, so magic-wise, we had two cards each per magic phase, basically, just to give us a bit of extra dice. And believe it or not, you really needed the extra dice because you had like 9 masters across the board or something like that, didn't you? But yes, so this, just demonstrating that we're drawing
I should point out that's probably why we did day 1 being 4 turns as well.
Yes, so that, exactly. The cards ran out at the end of 4 turns.
Yeah, and then we've shuffled them back
in. Yeah, pretty much. So every card would be drawn twice.
Yeah. Flammable.
Got Hazer Magnesia off. Yeah. No, I don't think it's called that anymore. It might be. Force through a Breath of Corruption with a very nice bit of dice. I think I had to sacrifice a dwarf to do it, but yeah, nice bit of breathing on elves. Everyone loves that. Wrath of God, always in the arsenal. Love that. Yeah, don't know who was casting that, but yeah. And this was like so early in the battle. Look at that beautiful red cross of dead elves. Because I'll tell you what, Aristo's plan It's had one opportunity to be proven in action, and this is what it did.
Oh, it was amazing.
All three of the Madgits rolled just enough or more than enough to get all the way through the archer block, which is the ones remaining on the top of the hill, and through to the second Queen's Guard unit behind them.
Yep.
So that unit with the big cross on is not another unit of archers. That's a unit of Queen's Guard.
Queen's Guard with the banner of Bacarmin.
Had to remove.
Oh, it was great. It was so fun. It was
goblins.
So fun. 10 archers.
Thanks to 3 Madgits.
20, and luckily there was 20 to start off with because my mage was in there. Passed his panic. How would you pass that panic? By the way,
tell me about that.
That guy has a heart of stone. All your girls have died, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very fun
beautiful.
And very cool.
And of course, the 2 of the Madgits, I don't know why the third one's over by your dead farm. I can't really remember. But 2 of them, I might have gone all the way off the board, actually. I think it was like a double 6 thing.
Yeah.
So it went all the way off. I don't know, I can't remember. But 2 of them are still in your backfield. So there could be more from them. Right.
So funny.
But, brilliant.
So I retaliate in my turn.
Of course you did.
Charge. Not the mage, though. He don't care. Let's remember that. I charge in
Picking
here.
up Queen's Guard bodies.
Yeah. So charging chaff. I don't charge the chaff in front of my sea guard, though. They can just hold out. Yeah. All right. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And otherwise move up on my left with the Swordmasters. Pretty happy with Swordmasters, Dragon Mage over there, just like on the whole flank. Let's see what we can do. Otherwise, sort of in the centre, very, very cautious. Let you come to me. Don't worry about it. Just shuffling around. On the right side, I don't know what to do on my big dragon. So really, I just sort of shuffle around and face them going that way because your immortals are going that way. And your Iron Orcs aren't quite on the hill yet, so I don't need to worry about them just right now. But we'll see. Otherwise, it's what it is. I get Silver Spike, get 3 wounds off of this, and flammable on these guys because my Swordmasters have flaming banner, so if they do come in, we're all gravy.
I charge you.
Get Favour and Melodus off. I can't remember what the second card was for anybody wanting, but so it ends up got lots of tokens.
If you're taking notes for this battle report and you're going through a bit, you need a new notepad.
I know, failed a perception strength. Thought that was funny.
It's just brilliant. Triple 1.
You get the classic as well. Oh, don't worry, you get them back.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh,
really happy.
Best thing. Thankfully, shooting over here cleans up the chaff, so happy days. And
shooting. You shot off the.
I shot off the. I didn't do a red X. I'm not doing a red X. So this is.
I remembered. I'm more on my war machine.
Yes, remaining shooting over the side. It clears up that. Kill the chaff and just turn to face. Don't want to do any more DTs. I got lucky there. And we kill, and my Griffin catches your goblins. In retaliation, but they've already done the damage.
They had done a lot of damage, and they were absolutely thrilled to die in those circumstances. That was just the most any cave goblin has ever achieved.
Yeah.
They were cheering on those Madgits.
For what it's worth as well, this isn't Cascading Fire, it is Cloak of Cinders. I have changed it in the other pictures, just not this one. And as you can see at the top, I've done a couple of wounds to that Mangler, but not quite enough to kill it. So we'll see how things go in retaliation. Yes.
Why on earth I did this charge, I don't really know. I think it was because we were attacking at the same agility.
Yes, if
you basically had a unit of archers just behind the Swordmasters, and if I just sat on the hill, my unit was going to get shot across 2 or 3 turns. So because I was charging into agility 5 Swordmasters, I figured I may as well charge you and try and kill a few before I die, and then die, obviously. This was the reason for that charge.
They got in.
Nash. They got in. I declared this charge with similar reasons, really. I know I've got a whole load, 10k worth of ogres coming on behind me, so I know I don't need to really conserve points or be too protective of my units. So I send the Goblins Grotto boys in, and they let me down.
They're not ready. They're not ready yet.
They're not ready to go in. No, they're not ready. Clearly. They still tying their shoelaces. So yes, so they were pretty much the only charges, I think. And the rest is just like quite an aggressive. Let's go and get the highborns. Really, you can see I've moved my iron orcs onto the hill, ready to go and get that lion's guard. Elsewise, the Nasher Dashers are coming forward to be a threat. The Gargantula's coming forward. I've got I think I've made it so that your Griffin dude hasn't got. I've basically moved past him.
Yes, I couldn't charge.
Direction.
Yeah, for sure.
So you had long charges if you wanted to keep going forwards. But essentially, all my units have moved around you and past you to threaten your backfield, similar with the Lancers as well. I don't think I did much damage in terms of shooting turn 1, to be honest. I don't remember any shooting, but similar story over here. Obviously, I'm a little bit held up by the Goblin chariots not charging in. I would have liked to have been able to move forward and then send my trolls in pretty aggressively as well, but couldn't. You did 2 wounds as well to that Nasher wrecking team.
Yeah, and he came up quick this time.
Didn't quite make it to the Knights of Roma, which was a thing. So likely I'm not going to get either of my wrecking teams in because they'll probably be shot off now. I didn't take the bait of the alchemical fire ball boys into the sword masters because they wouldn't have attacked higher agility. They would have been dead before they struck.
Yeah.
But yeah, apart from that, it was I'm drawing magic cards actually as we speak.
Oh yeah. You can see the spoils as well for anybody interested on.
Yes.
So they are
golden pennies.
So you can get to them quick. You can take it away.
Run away.
So and for people wanting on we've got one next to the Gargantula and one next to these flintlock axes as well. Yes. You get Twisted Effigy off on my.
I did. I stopped them. I think it was the boosted one. You
my
pretty much every time
stone-hearted mage.
Let me have it, didn't you? Yeah. Yeah, he joined his archers now, and they were thinking, "Why are you joining us? What happened to the Queen's Guard?"
Yeah. He hasn't said anything, so they're not decided not to shoot. You also get a token.
I think it was the
flammable
token. Yeah.
Haze of Magnesia.
Indeed. That's what we're calling it.
Wrath.
Another Wrath of God. Yes.
Bringing the wrath down.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Which is not a great place for.
Oh, it was the Feral Orc. The Feral Orc was thaumaturging. Yeah, of course it was.
That's a lot of squishy elves there. They die but kill 5. So
it reduces you by a few. You know.
Yeah.
Like I say, they were only going to get shot off.
Yeah.
And then you charged.
I charged, but failed as well. Unfortunately, didn't get into that one. But yeah, we're both teasing each other with things.
It looks like your Rhymer have charged and lost a few to DT as well.
A few, certainly an underestimate. But yes, they go into the Nash Dashers to polish them off. I was hoping for a few more, not to be, and
twigged.
Yes. Well, yeah, absolutely. Charges over here. My depleted archers, I should say, decide to go into the flank of this Nash character. Because I'm like, I'm not going to have much leadership. Why not? Let's get some revenge. This is just a revenge, all emotion side.
Absolutely.
The Lancers go in as well to the other character who's chaffing them, but the Initiate stays out so that you can hopefully clear off that Mangler with some pyro magic shizzles.
Yeah.
This is how it ends up. The Lancers are next to it. They just couldn't. My Nova Flare guy ends up being chaff for the Gargantula in this weird thing. I was like, well, I don't know what else to do really because I don't want him going into my stone-hearted mage. So yeah, let's do this. Yeah. Which was interesting. Otherwise, again, over on that left side, the Phoenix, the Swordmasters, and the Dragon Mage keep pushing on the flank. Let's keep going. It's something that the Patreons actually said that they were like the Swordmasters don't have anything to fear. So I was like, all right, let's go, boys and girls.
And I was just chilling at the back, thinking they have a lot to fear. Actually.
Yeah, actually. And otherwise it's just a bit of a shuffle. And I guess the biggest thing to note for me is my Dragon Mage, my Ancient Dragon, comes over to out of line of sight of the Iron Orcs to now face them because they are a threat now. But I don't charge. I've got the wall, which I'm pretty happy about, and I've got a magic phase, hopefully that can help me out. So we'll test the waters, see how we got there. And you don't want to overcommit at this stage, early in the battle.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Pyroflow kills the Mangler.
Yeah.
I get Awaken the Beast off on these spears because they're a bit closer to the people, to the chariots now. Yes, and that. But it also gets scarification off of my lord in case your Iron Orcs do want to go in. So he's pretty beefed up himself. Over here, I get Cinders off on the what's it called? Griffin as well.
Yeah.
To help out.
Mm-hmm.
Word of Iron.
Of course, the cards we're seeing are the ones that were let through or powered through.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
this is
really,
how many spells I've actually got.
Ones we dispelled, so
Yeah, totally. I get Word of Iron off on these guys, which is great, but really it's for the alchemical fire off on them to give them rerolls to wound.
Yeah.
Wrath of God comes down and just kills a load of elves. Does a wound also to the Frosty. So yeah, Boomtown there. Shooting kills the Mangler, thankfully.
Yes.
Lancers kill this chap. Archers stick around. Actually, an interesting thing. You did a decent amount of wounds that I wasn't expecting. I do 2 wounds, but it's not enough to kill him. So let's see how it goes. It's very interesting. Over there, and over to your turn.
Yeah, looks it. I must have lost one of the Grotto boys to shooting because I'm down to 2. But yeah, obviously you fail one charge, so you declare a longer one. Get your act together, boys.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know if I make that charge or not. I think I do.
And you've got the Boar boys into my chap as well.
Yes, and that's the Common Orc boys going into the Chappy Reavers as well. Yes, I thought I did it. Yeah, I thought I made it, which is awesome. The Grotto boys have clearly been told off once and decided they were going to do as told this time around. My plan with them was always just to kill a few elves and then probably die, similar to the Nationals, really. I'm just trying to whittle your numbers down a bit so then my actual main fighting blocks can do the rest.
And especially now, Wrath of God's gone. Right.
Yes, no reason for me not to run into that territory. Yeah. Over here, the remaining Nashidashers decide that they will attack before the Lions, I think it is. Probably, although you're great. No, probably same time as your crew, but before the Lions, which means I might be able to do some damage to the Lion Chariot. And it's a similar tactical round, really. If I don't do these kind of charges, I'm just going to get shot off the board. So I may as well try and do things where I will attack at the higher agility or the same agility.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that was that. I get in, which is awesome. So see if I can do some damage. Otherwise, I don't think there's any other charges. My Iron Orcs basically don't like the fact there's an Ancient Dragon showing an interest. And I didn't declare that charge. I would have had a reroll for the hill. But similar to the fact that you like having the obstacle, I don't like that you have the obstacle. So I'm like trying to draw you off of the obstacle. You're not moving from the obstacle. So we're in a little bit of a stalemate. Obviously, I'm also committing my Feral Orcs to that stalemate as well. So really, I'm losing 2 big units to your 1 here. Although the Ancient Dragon technically counts as your second.
I think so.
So, it's a little bit of a let's just see what's happening on the flanks thing before we carry on. Speaking of that flank, the Gargantula just ignores your Griffin and goes over
to line of sight again as well.
Yeah, it's like, no, I ain't going to do that. He's got Nova Flare. Why would I do that? And Cloak of Cinders, I think it was you got off, wasn't it? The Immortals, however, they don't care. They think they can grind out the Griffin. Obviously, Griffin's going to kill a few of them, but I've got numbers there. And the Nashers on the far flank are moving forward as well. I think that's about it from that side. Everything that didn't charge. The Lugers are really gunning for the Bolt Thrower behind the forest in the middle. Also aware of the Lion Chariot and the Sky Sloop. I don't think I remember that eagle was behind the building for a long time in this battle. But he was Suicide or Kamikaze or Death Wish, whichever one it was, was hiding pretty well. The Spear Common Orcs weighed up the idea of being killed quite rapidly by the Swordmasters and decided, no, let's just see if Lucky Sixes forgets to cast a spell next turn. when he charges them, if you're going to charge me. And I thought I had like 50 common orcs. Like I didn't need to charge in when you had flaming swords of the rerolls to wound, but if you charge me and I stop your magic, 50 orcs, surely that'll do something against swordmasters, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the other swordmasters I chaffed with a feral orc boar unit, who'd been that was a small feral orc boar unit actually, because the big one is working its way around the backfield. Yeah, I think that's about that on that side of things. Some magic, I get wheel turns on the Gargantula because the Lancers couldn't charge it. So I think that was wheel turns on hitting. So that you hit on 4s, you would already be wounding on 4s, I think. Strength 6, are they? Strength 6?
No, strength 5. So
you're wounding on 5s then.
So you don't. That would make it maybe better. So yeah.
It would have made me better, yeah, exactly. So, and a few evil eyes died about as well. Another twisted effigy which he let through.
On old Stoneheart. He's actually moved over to the stone as well. He feels more comfortable there.
Absolutely, yeah. I got Glory of Gold, God of Battle, just in case you feel like charging your dragon and your Lion Guardian. I was in two minds about this, right? I really wanted you off that obstacle, but I didn't want to just get you off that obstacle and then die.
Yeah.
So I had to buff my unit up a little bit so that they stood a chance if you decided to charge. But I didn't want to buff them up so much that you wouldn't come off the obstacle. So this was like when you let the second spell off. When you let the second spell off, I was like, oh, damn it, he's not going to charge me now. Whereas the first one, you were like thinking about it, and then Trial of Faith picks 2 wounds off an Ancient Dragon, which is an awesome little plink. And then is this
Wrath of God,
Wrath of God goes
the other
down.
one comes down.
Another Wrath of God.
Kills my bolt thrower. The archers. It does kill your guy, to be fair, that's with him. Does 3 out of 4 wounds on my griffin, and a couple of.
Was it the Wrath of God that did this? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
and the archers, 2 of them die, but the Stoneheart doesn't care really. He can't even see them, so he doesn't.
He's so far away. Yeah.
But lots more elves died, and this I was saying this flank I was really happy with. And it seems to be dying quite rapidly.
Yeah, to a very few units of the old side. Yeah.
Goblin trickery.
Really got much over there.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's right.
Some shooting.
Yes, this was flintlock shooting. Do another couple of wounds on the Ancient Dragon, which was lovely. Thinking that down to half strength. Which is
it's nice. only got 8 wounds now. So I do kill your Nash Dashes, but they do 2 wounds on Cat Claw. So
really happy with
decent
that.
effort.
That's pretty much all I could hope for.
Yeah.
And again, really funny.
huge props. They just did so many wounds. They did like 12 wounds or something crazy. With all things. I only do 2 back, and
I think it was 1 actually. I had 1 going in.
Sure, and it was a minimal amount, and I thankfully hold on steadfast because goodness me, that was a bit tricky. But doing exactly what you wanted in thinning out the numbers.
That unit is neutered, even if you do end up beating them.
I think I don't do anything to you here actually, and you do 3 or 4 wounds to my back rank because I should have 7 ranks. Might even do a bit more. So that Awaken the Beast really didn't help much in terms of. So they sort of hold out, and again I hold on steadfast. Over on this flank, we turn the button, and we've been walking too much, so we charge and charge. The swordmasters over both the swordmasters actually charge
via the boar boys,
via the boar boys. So they'll go in, kill them, and this unit will overrun. This unit goes over here. The Dragon Mage goes into the big unit though, knowing that once everything's placed down, there'll be enough space for everything to happen like that. So that's what us. We'll see what happens there. These
Rhymer. There's 1 Rhymer left.
Yeah, these Rhymer.
Charge into the
one guy. Charge into the Luger because I need to get.
I think the Nash Dashers killed 2, didn't they?
They just like this is making me a big unit of Rhymer Knights just dying to everything.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It was so funny. But my character's still there, and that's the main thing. And they've all got Dragonforged armor, so we should be good in these.
Yeah,
is what I'm thinking.
Absolutely.
The Lancers are actually behind there. Which you see, they're not 2 units of Lancers.
You just want to
Lancers
use your fancy colour pen again.
I know, it's nice, isn't it? So they charge the Nashers over there because the Gargantua's too beefed up.
Yes.
And otherwise, we sort of just move around. The Lion Chariot and both the Lion Chariot and the Sky Sloop sort of get ready for a counter charge once that bolt thrower goes. The Phoenix does go into the chariots to try and get them off, thinking as well that it's actually if those can flee rather than die, we might be in a good position in terms of chaffing that big unit, and maybe we can pull the plug in the middle. The Phoenix comes around over this way to threaten the bolt throwers or the war machines and the boar boys as well.
Yeah.
Over this way, the ancient dragon doesn't like getting too much attention, so just backs off.
Yeah.
Like,
you had druidism in your lion chariot. Your lion guard unit.
I did. Yeah. So I could heal, which was getting stopped. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I
was stopping that a lot because
especially with my Griffin and that as well. So.
Yeah.
Griffin, however, once again comes in and goes, you know what? I'll do your tactic. If I'm going to die, I'll Nova Flare your ass, Gargantula, before you kill me.
And I was pretty sure, having gone against the Nova Flare thing, he could probably do 7 wounds to a Gargantula before it dies. So I was still a bit concerned by that. Gargantula's like, not you again!
I know, yeah. But otherwise, I think I'm just sort of like backing off against the Immortals as well. I want to wait as much time as possible. And behind us is the Initiate still on the hill, just going, where have my friends gone? Where have they gone? Yeah. The Initiate does help out though by getting some Pyro Flow. Suicide comes up to be first victim, but then only it's only against 3, so maybe we've got a chance there. Gets Cloak of Cinders off on the Lancers as well to help them out with a bit of staying power. I'll get Rod of Battle off on this unit in case you do want to. We can both put Rod on it. Yeah, the bluff continues. And thankfully over here I kill the Nashers and turn to face this way. Over here you do similar amount of wounds, but I just for some reason I just get through your armor this time.
It was because I was 2 up armor, so I was thinking to myself, if I can survive the initial turn where you get the extra AP, I should be good, and I just wasn't. And
no,
plus
absolutely.
I wasn't killing very many. So
I can't remember whether you left. I think you stuck.
I think I might have
turn.
stuck one more turn. At least.
Yeah,
it wasn't going well for me now. I know that much.
Actually, I know you did.
Yes,
I know you did.
Yes.
So you stuck around. Over here, we do go in. We kill both the units and catch you. For a decent amount back. On the Sword Masters, about half the unit. Probably a bit
depends what you define as a decent amount, really, because I have 50 common orcs there. So
obviously the leadership helped.
It was the break test, basically.
Like, my Dragon Mage, to be fair, pumps out loads of attacks with Breath Weapon, and his whole model is flaming. So I did. I obviously I must have got a spell. Well, maybe I didn't.
Well, the issue is that in a battle this big with tables so wide, you can't have your general giving you discipline everywhere. So I think I was discipline 7, reduced to 6 because of the dragon. So even steadfast, with I don't know how many more ranks than you, I just failed a steadfast 6, and it wasn't re-rollable because the BSB was in the same place as the general. So,
and I think it was my dragon that actually caught you because he rolled high enough to even further go into this unit of flintlocks as well. In the flank, which is great for him. You kill off my last Rhymer because they've been really good, and I do a bunch of wounds, to be fair, going in. But we stick around because you're all steadfasty. I do enough to not kill you all with these with the chariots and the phoenix and stuff. I only lose 1, and you flee to a great position from my point of view.
It's just Gobbo left now, and I tell you what,
is.
I'm gonna have a word with Gobbo, because that's not where I want you to flee to, is it?
It's not. You wanted a big old flea, not one of those fleas.
Exactly, and obviously, as we see it, my boar boys have held against the spears as well. So
yeah. And this is an overview of how it looks at the bottom of 2, bottom of the second turn.
Yeah.
So everywhere sort of getting a bit more sparse, the table, but plenty of things still going on.
Yeah.
And leads us to your turn 3.
Exactly, and I mean, I would say things were hotting up, but I think we went hot right out of the gates.
Yeah, we did.
Because there was no messing around, really, was there? Yeah, these remaining Nashers decide that, eagle meat is quite tasty this time of year. And you know, why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
The Lugers decide to do a decent charge into this bolt thrower to kill it off, so that I don't have to use any shooting or magic to finish it. I think this is probably is it a failed charge?
I think this is
flee with your line
another
charge?
twisted effigy, isn't it?
Oh, is it? Are we straight on to magic? Fair enough.
Oh yeah, no. It could be they failed a really long charge into the Flame Wardens.
Yes, I think so. Did your lion chariot flee off the board?
No.
In order to make me have a longer charge? Or is it still
I've
about?
moved back. It's still about. We'll see that.
Okay, fair enough.
I think it might even be onto magic as well, so you might have got Twisted Effigy on Stoneheart again. Which I'm just letting off. I'm like, you know what? I got enough magic. I don't need him.
Yeah. Yeah. A little that shooting unit, why would I bother?
Yeah.
Inox get Rod of Battle, so I go down to just 1 spell on them, see if it forces the issue. Although I am aware now my Feraloc's a chap on my own chariot, so yeah. I got Smite the Unbeliever off to reduce your strength by 1, and AP, which I'm hoping means that my 2-up Common Orcs will not die at all, because you're Strength 3, AP 1 now.
Yeah.
No, Strength 2, AP 1 now. Aren't you, in a prolonged combat? So you're wounding me.
I'm AP 0 now.
Yes. Oh yeah, you would be. Yeah. So Strength 2, you're wounding me on 6s, and I've got a 2-up armor save. I'm thinking to myself, right, fine. If I'm not going to go through you, then I'm just not going to die. I'm just not going to die. I'm just going to stay there.
Yeah, man.
Over here, I Raven's Wing. Yeah, the trolls were getting frustrated by the amount of stuff that wasn't dying in front of them. So, because you see the chariot has only gone and rallied right in the way of things. Gobbo, read your messages. You were supposed to die to the elves and be out the way, but you would go and anyway. Yeah, so the cave trolls got bored with that and just decided they're going to Ravens Wing themselves, yeet forward, as Mr. Scabbat would say, to get on with things. And I believe this is my last mad kit. Decides that the other 3 mad kits didn't have enough fun on their own, and it literally just catapulted its way through the lancers.
Killed a bunch of them.
Killed like 5 lancers.
Fled.
Understandably, they fled.
Yeah, and oh my goodness, these goblins are just clearing up this side.
Absolutely, yeah.
Over here, I think this was you at the end of combat.
This is the previous turn, I think it was, wasn't it?
No, I think this is now at the end of combat.
Probably. Oh, yeah.
At the end of this round, you flee, but you don't flee far.
We didn't fight in your turn 2.
Yeah.
So this is the end of my turn 3 combat. Yes. And I've also moved the Feral Orc Boar Boys in front of what remains of the Swordmasters to hopefully hold you up a bit there. Yeah. Which does leave the artillery a bit vulnerable to the Flame Phoenix, who's coming up the rear.
Yes. And at the end, your Flintlocks flee, but not flee far, and I don't decide to go after you because I want
you stay there.
Options.
Yeah. I have a feeling that the Rhymer Knight, your Rhymer dude, was not a champion because you had a banner on him. And I think now I start dueling your characters. So I think at this stage I maybe lost one of my wizards, my prophets, to a duel with one of your characters.
Sure, with my Kingslayer dude.
But I've still got my BSB fighting strong in
have,
that unit of
yeah.
Lugers. So I'm still able to hold on, and we're not really doing a lot to each other.
Yeah.
So
sticking around. Over here, you lose 1.
I lose 1, so the plan is working. I only lose 1, but I only
That's my
lose
2. Yeah,
What's that about? I'm like strength. I think they're head bashers. So they're wounding on 3s. I'm probably hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s, but I should be. It's always the issue I've had with heavy armor orcs on 4s. Is they still only have 1 attack each.
Yeah.
So that's the issue. You just don't get many attacks. So when you hit on 4s,
And because of that,
I've
got this is the end of your turn 4. Actually,
3.
I think we're further on than we think because we've been doing this through. Yeah, because this was this was the start of my turn 4, wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess it was. Yeah, have we lost a turn? I don't know. Either way,
we haven't lost a turn. I think we've just been blitzing it.
Fair
but
enough.
yes, so.
Yeah,
and the reason we've I guess paused quite recently because this is quite a massive part of the battle in that they fled on their turn, meaning it's my turn next, and as you can see by that beautifully drawn line there,
it does demonstrate. I mean, I cannot tell you how much I tried to wangle that orange line of sight marker to make it so that you were in my front.
Absolutely.
Because in the front, I am not at all worried. In the flank, that's a problem.
It is. Because, unfortunately, there are no characters on that side either.
No, there's no characters. All of my Feralorc characters are in the middle, having the enchanting lessons. But another thing, right? As well as my 2-up impossible to wound orcs fleeing from combat res, this wouldn't have been a problem had I not Ravens winged my cave trolls up, because my cave trolls were on the hill, and I Ravens winged my cave trolls to be out the way to give you a flank charge. I mean,
absolutely. And
Gobbo's pissed me off.
And Gobbo.
He's probably not responsible for this situation. So yes. Oh dear.
Yeah.
That's not ideal. Is that?
So that was looking nice. You do kill an eagle. Suicide is dead.
Yes.
And this was part 2 of the crazy thing.
Yes, it was.
The other 2, or the other mangler, the other squig that was behind there. Then once that one goes through it, this one goes through them again, and forces them to flee this way. They flee miles and miles and miles, and go all the way over to there.
Through the goblins, a few more dying from dangerous terrain in the goblins, because they stab them with little sticks as they run through.
Goodness me.
And there's 1 Lancer remaining.
In your deployment. Not where he wants to be.
No. Because there's a whole load of ogres about to appear.
You're right, so, this is, I think, an overview of the end of your turn. I think you're turn 4 now, but... Do
we think so?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But anyway, end of one of your turns.
Yeah.
And just looking at how everything looks on the battlefield.
Done another wound to your ancient dragon as well, which is nice. So chipping away at him. Like you said, I was stopping him getting the heals off. So
yeah, and there's the lion chariot, as I said, as well.
Yes, still there.
So on to my turn and my Swordmaster's charge. Your chaffing boys, my Flame Phoenix charges the War Machine to hopefully do. And it was on the hill, but it was a long charge, so that was nice to get. So that should clear up some War Machines as well, and looking okay.
I think it was a 9 rerollable because of the hill, and I was just really hoping switch 9. You might fail it. And you just
absolutely. My Swordmasters choose to go that way to hopefully stop anything serious coming on that side.
This is so I've got reinforcements to come
maybe zone some reinforcements aspects, so that's good. Sky Sloop and Catclaw, or Lion Chariot, go into the Lugers, hoping that the impact hits alone can do a
I didn't really see that coming, actually. 2 lots of impact hits, and now I'm hoping for just double 1 on the impact hits, really.
Yeah.
So I think I can outfight both those units, but not after they've killed like loads.
Yeah, so it's going to come down to that. I do take 1 DT on the Sky Sloop down to that. And the spears don't take long to clear these charges. What I do take along is my Phoenix actually charges the
Ball boys
out the way so that my spears don't have to take a redirect test. So
genius. That's CTC level there.
That's but yeah, so I also get my mage over this way to try and support them in as much.
Yeah, you had a few juicy charges with that guy, didn't you? But you decided you needed to prioritize this spear.
Absolutely.
Charge.
Yeah. So yeah, this is how it looked. My Phoenix decides not to go into the trolls. I don't think at this point. No, I think I bank. I'm really banking on killing that unit, that big unit.
Yeah, I think because my boars ran away, just failed to charge against the boars and just stumbled forward into the trolls, but didn't actually fight them.
Otherwise, I failed here, so I wanted to try and get in as he's losing wounds to actually get it, because you've got the objective now. One of the objectives.
I did pick up the objective. I stood on it, and I was planning on running away with it as well. Which,
I think you stood and shot, and
I might have done a wound with stand and shoot as well.
Maybe, but yeah, regardless,
already on 5 before this charge. So.
He fails, stumbling forward, but at least supporting the Lion Guard there. As you can see as well, Cat Claws come up to chaff the Immortals.
Yes, so that was what happened. Yeah, sure.
So just give my Flame Wardens a bit of time while reinforcements come on. Over here, again, we continue the cat and mouse, if you will, with the Griffin and Gantula.
Yeah, Go on. I was going to say, at some point I've moved that last Squig character into the flank of the archers, but your Griffin doesn't want to save them, and neither does Stoneheart.
No, Stoneheart's literally bailed on them and he's gone, I'm just gonna hide now for the rest of the battle. I've done my bit.
Yeah. What was your bit?
And the initiate comes around, just not really caring about what's on that right side, because they're too good. They're too good. They've mopped up the flank.
Clearly. Yeah.
And this is left hand side, just to show you the overview. Archers are coming up somewhat so that they can reach for the objective if needed later. Yeah. Over here, and lots of woundage. It was. Those swordmasters are just getting tired. You know, they did a bit. They did a bit of wounds, but with no magical support.
Unnecessarily heavy.
It's just like, oh my god, it's more orcs. Oh my goodness. And they took a battering back as well. They
did. Yeah.
So those ball boys doing what the big unit of.
I think those ball boys might have had paired weapons, which kind of makes all the difference because of the two attacks rather than one. So yeah.
The Frost Phoenix 6 few wounds, but goes through the War Machine into the next one, so that's great. And I think I kill something. I might have killed the champion in this one.
I think maybe the champion dies at this point.
Yeah, in Luger, but otherwise we continue there. We just do a bunch of wounds.
This was horrible.
Impact. It was like, I think you had like 8 or 9 there, and I must have done like 7 wounds in impact hits. Cat Claw goes after you, kills you, and Skyslip just reforms like that. Yeah. But it was chariots. When they work.
When they work, they work well.
When they work, they work well. Over here, so this was the woundage of everything. I end up doing 7 to your 3.
Yes. Because you're strength 3 on the charge because of the Banner of Orion.
Strength 3 on the charge, yeah. So I did a decent amount.
But against Feral Orcs, they don't have armor. So.
Yes. So it was. I did a decent amount considering that. Obviously, you've just got limited actual attacks to actually kill me.
I stopped every magic I could stop on this combat to give me half a chance.
So I was up on combat res. I was up on points.
I'm not steadfast.
You're not steadfast, and
no.
This was the last picture of day 1.
It was indeed. Oh boy.
And I could taste the tears.
Yes, I mean that's a hell of a unit to remove. It's
It
like
is.
2,000, 2,500 points, I think.
Especially as it's like the last thing
on day one. Yeah. I mean, and
man.
also there were so many things that could have happened differently to not get myself in that position.
Yeah.
And then, you know, could I have foreseen that the Boar Boys were going to flee that turn? That I shouldn't have moved the cave trolls? That the goblin chariots were going to just hang around in front of the ferals, so I couldn't move the ferals forwards? There were so many things that
There
were
was.
just like,
There was.
oh, but it just landed in your lap.
It did. Oh, absolutely.
Through absolutely genius play, obviously.
The payload cometh.
Yeah.
And
obviously you've overrun into the flank of a boar chariot as well, just for
which
giggles,
with no apparent counter charges. So yeah, they're doing those spears, doing all right. Which does lead us to the end of day one, and as we said at the start,
I didn't want to play day two.
I know. But as we said at the start, we did have some secret objectives.
We did,
and these were them. So from my point of view, I had kill an enemy general and keep yours alive. Mine obviously is in the Lugers, and yours died to those spears.
Died in the Feralorks. Yeah.
Oh goodness me. So that's a tick. I also got my BSB into combat because my BSB is on the horse in the Lugers.
Cloud.
So he's actually been in combat the whole battle, just not doing much.
He's killed my chaffing goblin raiders, he's killed Nasher Dashers, and now he's killing Lugers. So if we only played 4 turns, that's 3 turns of combat. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. From your point of view?
Yes, from my point of view, I mean, this was another one that turned on a dime, because keep my most expensive wizard alive, that was the Feralork Shaman in the Feralork unit. Yeah. I thought to myself, don't go too aggressive, and ended up that happening. So I did not achieve that objective.
It was the Thaumaturgy guy as well. So it's worth saying he has been battering my elves.
Amazing with the Wrath of God. And with Trial of Faith on you.
Trial of Faith, Smite even helped out, all that stuff.
And even the breath weapon on the Rhymer. So all 4 of his spells, I think he was probably the one with Rod of Battle. He was probably an MVP candidate until the point where he actually got removed. Yes, and then finally my other one was Honor is Everything, perform 0 flea reactions for the whole day. You know, I was quite lucky with this because I think we each got 3 objectives, didn't we? And we chose 2 because there's a chance that one of them would be horrible. The one I turned down, which I didn't go with because I went with these, was kill all gigantic enemies on the board. I was going against Lucky Six's dragon army.
Yeah.
So chances of killing every dragon and every phoenix on the board was slim. So I went with these 2. And I actually managed to not flee anything because, just being baller.
It was. But yeah, so that's
2-1 to you.
2-1 to me overall, because obviously no points have been officially had yet. So and that took us on to day 2, and of course
we're halfway.
Yes, well done. Take a break.
Yes.
Pause us, obviously, before you take a break.
Yeah,
but
don't
take
miss
a break.
Anything.
In fact, while you're on a break, like, share, subscribe. Go over to Patreon. Check that out. Do all the comments and things.
Halfway through. Thoughts halfway through the battle.
Yes.
Pep
how
talk
are you
for the orcs.
Yeah. All that jazz. Let us know about the graphics and design. All that stuff. Take a real break, right?
Yeah.
And
then come back.
Yeah. To day 2 and the reinforcements of. Yes, right? Don't you?
Yeah.
Goodness me.
Different top.
And of
Same
course,
colour, different top.
we have reinforcements. So another 10,000 points of army.
Yeah, I cleared out my shelf of ogres because they were just jealous watching. And we talked about this quite a lot in how were we going to do reinforcements because, could we just both put our reinforcing armies onto the board at the start of turn 4? And it was just like, no, we shouldn't. Because there's all sorts of logistical issues. If your Equitane and Beast Herds came on at the start of my turn 4, then I could charge your units that had literally just arrived on the battlefield. That's not really that fair. So basically your units didn't come on until the start of your next turn. My units came on at the start of this turn. Anything that was unwieldy or cannot fire and move could shoot and move onto the board, but had an extra -1 penalty. So we sort of fudged that a bit, didn't we?
Even war machines and stuff.
Even war machines, basically, so that
war
machines could shoot on the first turn they came on. But yeah, basically just a whole table's width of ogres come on for me.
Yeah. We should say as well, the reinforcements come on in the like ambushes, so they can't charge as well.
Can't charge, but they can do remaining moves. Yeah.
Which that one we were sure very early on, because we didn't want we didn't want someone who goes first to like charge up, and then my knights have an easier charge, for example.
Absolutely, exactly.
Or we didn't want to just like look at each other, because whoever would because we didn't want to go forward to get charged. So that was something we decided early on.
Yeah, because if I could just charge into the flank of some swordmasters here, that'd be lovely.
Yeah.
Depending on what I charge with. But so there was a little bit of restraint shown from the reinforcing armies. So what have I got? I've got a unit of bombardiers in the far corner. The way that the swordmasters turned around, it was a little bit annoying, because I was going to put a lot in that corner. And I just couldn't, because I had to have a turn standing there. Swordmasters charging anything would have been a problem.
Can't claim any genius of that. That was the Patreons.
Fair enough.
So
why I order?
Yeah,
I did put a few scraplings. Yeah, I did put a few scraplings out there though, because don't care about them. So it meant I had to deploy some bombardiers in the flank of your swordmasters, but they quite like that because they're move and shoot without penalty, quick to fire, so they can unload on some swordmasters hopefully. I have a rock Orruk coming on behind the Flame Phoenix, a unit of 4 Tusker Cavalry, 2 character Mammoth Hunters. They were both wielding the old Mammoth Spear, or what was it? Is it Harpoon Launcher? No. The throwing one. Anyway. Yeah. So I can't remember what it's called now, but yeah. Some more scraplings, a saber-tooth tiger, then one of my bruiser blocks. That was the one that didn't have any ogre characters in them. And then next to them was another bruiser block, because one bruiser block just isn't enough. So yeah, I had another one. Then a scratterbolt, followed by a whole load of scrappling bowmen, which I didn't even have a movement tray for. I tried to put a tray, but it was just curled up and horrible. So yeah. A cannon, thunder cannon, followed by another 3 Tusker Riders cavalry. Another rock Orruk, another 3 Tusker Cavalry, a unit of random tribesmen that don't look like tribesmen if we get any. They're just every other ogre I own in one unit. Then a Frost Mammoth, and then on the far side,
Yetis.
Oh, Yetis, yes. Yetis. And they could Vanguard, so they basically came on, then Vanguarded, then had their remaining moves. So I think they were the only ones with special kind of movement. Yeah,
this is how you moved on that side?
Yeah. I mean, so over here, I haven't got a lot in your backfield because most of it's dead or hasn't managed to get forward. The Lugers were killed by your 2 impact hit units.
Yeah.
So effectively, I was just like moving up quite in my own backfield. It's a bit of an empty table, really, or it looks it in comparison. But I just getting my bombardiers ready to shoot your swordmasters, moving the rock Orruk and my 2 mammoth hunters ready to throw their hunting spears. That's what they're called. Into your orange dragon, into Tai and Saphira, because that was
multiple wounds 2 against gigantic or something, isn't it? So.
Multiple wounds D3 +1, I think. Actually,
even better.
So, yeah, really nice. Over here, I have an issue now where my river trolls are affected by stupidity, because the Feral Orc General is dead. And also in the bottom left of the picture, my cave trolls are affected by stupidity. So that Raven's Wing, where I was moving them quite aggressively into your backfield, is kind of a bit nullified because I couldn't declare a charge. I failed stupidity on Discipline 4. So they just stumbled forward and just stood there, and you can just pick them apart as you please. I mean, they're still a unit of trolls, still got to do something about them, but Gobbo does what he's told and stands in front of the Lion Guard, which means that I can still threaten with my Iron Hawks a little bit. The Citadel Flintlock Axe guys, whatever they're called, they turn around with the objective and are heading home. My flame napta thrower, you'll see it's in the middle of the board. It was 24-inch range, and you kept on moving sideways down the obstacle. So I had to move 3 inches forwards, and you kept moving sideways down the obstacle. I don't know if it's been obvious from the pictures, but yeah. I was getting a little bit worried that my slave unit was going to be in the way of my ogres coming on. So I started marching them forwards, which does take some casualties in doing so.
Yeah.
But I was like, those slaves are going to be in the way, so I'm just going to march them forward. But they're really slow. So, yeah, that was quite funny. My Feral Orc Boar unit, which is a bit out of its depth, really, because it's one of the few Orc and Goblin units over there now. They actually go and stand on that objective as well, knowing that your Griffin is loitering. But I'm really, really hoping... I've got a Splatterer over there. And now I've got a Thunder Cannon and a Scarlet Bolt, all of which can see the Griffin. He's only got 1 wound left on the Griffin. Surely the Griffin is done for. Surely. In other news, my Immortals charged the flank of the Lion Chariot.
Oh, yes.
To finish that off. My Gargantula continues to ignore the Griffin. And yeah, I mean, over there, I've pretty much won that flank, right? Because you got nothing left.
It's all you.
Exactly.
I have got Stoneheart though. Stoneheart is there. He's hiding.
He's clutching his balls if he had any in the first place.
His stony balls.
Absolutely. I got Break the Spirit off on the dragon in case it fancied a solo charge into anywhere. So nice. And then I unload the hunting spears. I should be really happy that I do 5 wounds, right?
5 out of 6, yeah.
But that's the problem, the out of 6 part. Because he has 1 wound left.
He does.
And, oh boy. You can see also there's some wound on that napta thrower there, because it's been getting plinked by archer shots. But yeah, basically I just come 1 wound short of killing the dragon, which would have been amazing. Because it is a real threat. Yeah, so keep at it, boys. I don't blame these swordmasters for panicking, because 3 units of bombardiers literally just turned up out of nowhere. I don't know. I mean, you said that it wasn't your genius plan to get them to turn around and face what was coming, but they possibly didn't want 3 units of bombardiers to be what was coming.
They didn't. But to only lose 9 isn't it? The worst thing is the panic. I think. The actual panic check, but
it was a discipline 9, was it?
Something like that. But got gutted. And also my other swordmasters get gutted as well. Yeah,
that was a real turn up. I never expected the Boar Boys. They were really just there to hold you up until I got my ogres on the board.
Well, they took a charge. Yeah,
exactly. Silly, really. But yeah, I think that's all we're seeing from that. Boar Chariot goes down as you would expect, and you continue the overrun, really.
Yeah, man.
I mean, this is a stage now where the elves are like, it doesn't matter what happens to us now.
Yeah. We're going down in legend.
We've written our name in history, So
there's is that a bard singing our praises? Lion Chariot dies.
Yes, you called both cat claws on both flanks.
Yeah, but, the cat claw 1, cat claw 2.
Exactly.
But yeah, over
into
here,
your turn.
Into my turn, and this cat claw charges and
kitty claw
flees. Flees your 4 boys off the board, going through everything. But there's no panics off the back of that.
Thankfully.
And my dragon, and we'll go back one thing. That's probably not a good angle. Goes
there was
into
another one previous, but
goes into the Tuskers, thinking, well, I'm gonna die. I've got 6, a decent amount of attacks. If I can kill the back rank, I've only got 3 or 4 coming back at me, or 5, I guess. Let's see if we can hold, really, and a bit of magic and everything. Yeah, let's go, really, on that front. My Sea Guard
now this board is looking a bit bigger.
Absolutely. If we go back as well, the Phoenix goes.
You got?
Phoenix goes into the Trolls, thinking you're only just been 4. Reinforcements wise, my Peg Knights come over on this side to, avenge, I guess. some sword masters, and the sword masters hold in that top corner. I don't know why. I've got some knights next to my sky sloop and in the forest, which is where they end up. I've also got centaur dude Kruger coming in for some bolt thrower goodness, and minotaurs you can just see behind the phoenix. And you can see the other side of them behind the Sea Guard charging Gobbo there. The Yeomen come on and immediately use themselves with chaff. They know what they're doing. They've got a plan with Vanguard. Let's go. Other news, the feral hounds from the Beast Herds have the exact same memo. They know what they're doing. Go in front of the Immortals, and the rest of my Flame Wardens turn to face them, and the rest of my reinforcements help me out to surround the Immortals. Let's surround them as much as possible. And on the right flank, I've got to help them, or help against the Immortals. Sorry, the men at arms, which I call Peasant Levy, I believe. The Hippogriff General over there as well. Then some more Yeomen. The Knights of the Quest are the next unit, with a couple of characters in. Then the Feudal Knights, a big unit of Feudal Knights, with a damsel in to help me on that flank. Regain myself against the Goblin stronghold. There. As we can see, the Griffin's gone into
because it's still a freaking live, isn't it?
It's still alive.
Unbelievably.
Trust in the Aegis. Mark Greensill.
I wasn't even getting to your Aegis. That was the problem. My splatter was hitting and not wounding, or just not hitting.
Yeah.
And the cannon didn't hit the first time I tried.
So he's on borrowed time and going mental because of it. The last reinforcement is a Briar Beast in that forest up there against your Scraplings. So that's a feast for the ages. One final note on this picture: on the very top right, my Champion Lancer is there rallying, and oh my god, what am I going to do with myself? Get out of line of sight, get out of arc of everything.
There's a big frost hide.
Just looking up and going, "Hiya, you're right.
I'm one of you guys. I'm on your team."
Absolutely.
These are beast herds. There's stranger things have happened.
Yeah, absolutely. Over here, I get Word of Iron off as the single spell that you let off, and it also allows alchemical fire. Which means I'm real on to wound with everything, so he's in a good spot. I get +1 strength off on these spears and scarification. So again, if anything weird should happen where my lions are engaged, then great. If not, should go through the trolls quite nicely. I finally kill these Nashers, and I think my bigger... what's the attribute from Pyro? Goes on the Yetis, I believe.
Blaze.
Yeah, Blaze goes on the Yetis.
Yeah.
Over here, he does the job. He does the work. He kills 2.
This was annoying.
Takes none.
As soon as you saw this charge, I was like, "Oh damn it! I've left that charge, haven't I?"
Yeah.
It was good.
And I think possibly panics one of your guys off, but I can't remember.
Yes. Well, the Mammoth Hunter panicked and ran off as well. I don't know why he ran off the board. I don't know, but I definitely lose a Mammoth Hunter as a result of this.
Yeah, for sure.
It's definitely gone. And the Flamethrower also got killed, I think, from your shooting.
Kills, does the last wound off in there.
Yeah,
so you lost a Mammoth Hunter, although we're not entirely sure how.
No.
It might have been from the panic from the War Machine.
Yes, it was that. The War Machine got shot off. I panicked from that. Because it was an Infernal Dwarf War Machine, so therefore would cause a panic test on an Ogre.
Yeah.
In
combat, my Fire Phoenix goes through the War Machine and turns to face this way. Maybe Bombardiers, maybe, if it survives. The 2 characters actually do a number on your Lugars, but at the cost of my BSB.
Yes. Finally, my BSB has managed to wound Cloud.
Yeah.
I think it was like we weren't doing anything to each other, and then all of a sudden I did like 2 wounds in one round and killed him, or something like that.
Yeah,
but it did mean your Kingslayer was killing off the Luger while he was free to do so.
For sure.
So
yeah, it continues, but that sort of sped up very quickly over there. You both of your guys, not much happens in combat, but you do both flee. And I think I stick around.
Gobbo, just die, Gobbo, God.
Just die, will you? And
it's funny because I haven't talked about this battle report with him before this happens.
No.
He's going to really just think I want him to die. That's brilliant.
And these spears don't do too much in the way of wounds, but do cause you to flee and catch you, and they have some sufficient points for the battle.
Sufficient? Is that the best word you can think of for this situation? They've got sufficient points.
Sufficient points for their value.
Okay, right. Were you out of line of sight of the bruisers as well?
Possibly the bruisers, but don't worry too much about that. No. I go through the boars and don't take a wound, so he's doing well as well. And it goes on to your turn.
I get a whole load of glorious chaff charges, obviously, because great. Charge the feral hounds. This was slightly more glorious, and clearly the bruisers were either not needed or out of line of sight. But my infernal, I'm just calling them flintlock dwarfs because that's what they're armed. They charge into one flank of your spears. My Stratavolt charges into the other flank. Hopefully munch them. Some much needed payback. I think I leave my Great Khan behind in unit bruisers.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
The general, because he's just there for discipline 9. He's literally naked apart from that.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
So he's a leadership bubble, and that's it. Right, boys.
Speaking of leadership bubbles,
leadership bubbles. Okay, I've lost my feral general a turn or so ago. They're on their own discipline. I have no BSB. The trolls are discipline 4. I really need to get my bruisers into the fight now. Won't you just die? Yeah. Like, it's just ridiculous. I'm losing my voice all over again with the amount of
hilarious
insults and frustration that I'm throwing these guys' way. Yeah, but now the trolls have gotten in there. They're like, oh, Gobbo rallied, so we must rally too.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's the real
trolls
general.
Rallying isn't a terrible thing, but yes, I think that's right. They all just will look to Gobbo.
Yeah, and this is how it looks after your movement.
Yes, a little bit of a sparse board because I only really bought the Bombardiers and a few Rock-Orruks on. Although obviously I lost Tuskers. That was 800 points of Tuskers to that dragon with 1 wound remaining. So it shows you how big that was, not doing the 6th wound to him with the shooting.
Absolutely.
Because he did remove a massive unit of Tusker cavalry. I think I had a unit of dwarfs that was sat behind my Lugers, not doing much, because they were basically waiting to clear up what was left, and the fight just went on forever.
It just continued on. Yeah.
Just continued forever. So I had a unit that sat behind. I moved my Rock-Orruk and my remaining Mammoth Hunter to Hunting Spear the Flame Phoenix because your dragon is off the board at this stage. So I can't do that final wound to him. So that was even more of a reason why that charge was awesome. It kept him alive a whole turn off the board. My Bombardiers all move around to shoot what remains of the Swordmasters because obviously they rallied. Silly boys.
Yeah.
My Boar boys, my remaining ones, are thinking, is there any way we can get that objective while not being shot by all the archers and the bolt thrower and then deal with the Peg Knights? Because I haven't really got a lot left over there apart from Bombardiers. So, yeah, bit of a problem. This is where I've got more stuff going on and I'm really pushing, but a whole load of Equitane Knights have appeared, which is an issue. I think I don't charge with the Iron Orcs into the Mounted Yeoman.
No.
My Bruisers kind of stay put because of everything rallying, or at least that was as far as they can go for now. Moved up some Tusker Cavalry in the middle. The cannon has now turned to look at your Ancient Dragon because my Rock-Orruk has moved up to have a go at Griffin Boy with his Hunting Spear. Because hunting spears are the way to go. I mean, I have to be completely honest with this. There was an element of tailoring in that I knew Lucky Sixes would not have brought dragons to this.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
hunting spears are the best weapon for flying monsters.
Yeah.
So everything that could had a hunting spear. So yeah, I was looking at doing that. I got flaming swords off on these guys. I think it was just in case your dragon charged solo.
Yeah.
Basically. I got Glory of Gold off on these guys because it's not so much for the Feral Hound combat, it's for the everything that's going to be charged.
For the everything else, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that. I also charged in my Yetis into the dragon. They are all on the hill, they're not just clipping.
Yeah.
And I got wheel turns off on you so that you were hitting on falls.
Yeah.
To make it a bit more difficult for you as well. This was the hunting spears, I think, as well.
Ogre crossbow?
Actually.
What do they have?
I don't know. I think I literally traded everything I could for hunting spears, but they killed off the heroic little lancer who was trying to chill out.
Doing his bit.
What is this not showing? Is this just an overview, possibly?
It could be an overview.
Yeah. I don't think it's showing anything specifically. Yeah.
Yep.
Kill the dogs. Obviously, I choose to turn and face the flame wardens. But I think we retcon this afterwards because I misplay an item. But we'll talk about that when it follows on. I think it's probably easier.
Yeah.
Retribution is somewhat sweet, but it doesn't feel sweet because they've got so many points out of me.
Yeah, they have,
I do kill off the spears, and yeah, basically that's the end of the spears. They're gone. I don't know why did my Scratterpot go after them. I think it probably did.
Yeah, Scratterpot's gone that way after.
Yeah, gone after them. This was weird. I really thought that Yetis would be okay against the dragon. I mean, yes, I'm only strength 5 and you're only res 5. But you haven't got a lot of armor or any save.
I've only got 4 attacks as well.
Exactly. So I really thought I would be alright. So I was attacking first because of the minus agility thing. And I just didn't wound you. And so you killed one back. And it was like, oh.
Yeah.
That was disappointing.
It was.
Yeah. So then we go into your turn.
Yeah, and over to my turn, and these feudals haven't got much on, so charge the goblins who flee, and I fail charge a little bit.
Yeah, cave goblins don't need to fight that. They've already won the flank.
They have. They turn around to say to the tribesmen, right, your turn.
Yeah, exactly.
The quest is going to the wounded Gargantula, and I think that'll do quite well. For what it's worth,
Gargantula have been chipped away from your magic, haven't they?
Yeah, I chose the Tuskers because there was 3 of them on the unit list as my questing knights reroll to wound.
Yes.
So there was that. And this is the charges and the retcon, as you say. So there was an item that you've got where you can reform once you get charged or something.
Yes.
But not if you're on multiple.
Yeah. Well, basically, I shouldn't turn around because it would have reduced the amount of models in combat with certain things or whatever. So you kindly, as you so often do in friendly games, I don't know what you're going to be like at ETC. You might be all right, Noel.
Right, not.
But in a friendly game, you said, okay, well, you obviously just not played that item the way you intended. So which way do you want to face? Because I've got a whole load of stuff charging you. It doesn't really matter to me.
So it's all
I'm going to charge anyway.
It's all auto,
So yeah, I end up facing the Hippogriff and the Men-at-Arms and letting the Flame Wardens be in the rear, which doesn't sound great anyway. But no. Yeah.
But there's a few flammable things going on. I'm engaged on all sides and looking to see if I can grind that out. That's a really interesting one. We both didn't really know how that goes. So this was less in the water, I guess, on the bridge. My 10 Minos and my Frost Phoenix, just to add a little bit of go into the trolls, and my Sea Guard go into the Gobbo. The Gobbo. I'm even hoping that the Sea Guard don't kill Gobbo.
Just make him flee and
just make him flee and stand and shoot. Yeah, so that would be great. Well, that'd be if you could, guys.
But yeah, sure, you had Scabfire on your team, didn't you? Patreon wise.
I did, yeah.
I reckon you had Gobbo in your ear as well. I reckon he was working for you.
Maybe.
There's just too many, things going on here.
I take a long charge and get it. I get it on the first go. I do actually have a reroll on these guys, but I get it anyway.
Didn't need it.
I think didn't need it. So hopefully to stop any thoughts of getting that spoil from your point of view, as you can see, the Peg Knights have come up. And the archers have come up somewhat. The Swordmasters have taken a bunch of wounds, panicked,
Fleeing
and then
behind the archers,
continue fleeing to there, and that's where they end up. So got a few turns to try and get them, but they are decimated for sure and out of the game. The
dragon's back on.
Dragon comes back on and just turns to face that way, see if we can get some sort of spike or something. And otherwise, we just sort of shuffle around. Your Kin Eaters have come on.
Oh yes,
or at least one of them has. So my archers have turned to face to shoot him up, bruv.
Yeah, bottom of your screen. Yeah.
Yeah. Over on this side of the board, there's not much else to say. Stoneheart, don't
Most
worry.
of it was charges, wasn't it?
Yeah, don't worry. He's still hiding behind that hill. He's safe. Don't worry.
And there's no one he can sacrifice there, though, is the only problem.
No, there is.
Unless he's thinking of grabbing some knights, but the damsel kind of does that. So,
Yeah. I'll help you by saving my points. That's how I'll...
yeah.
I've got, I think this is the Courtier of the Dusk or something, the Witchcraft one that comes up. So just helping out with the Iron Orcs. In lieu of the Ancient Dragon...
Which is gone. We missed the picture of that specifically.
I clearly missed the
that obviously
picture.
Happened in my turn.
This is a huge picture, and that cannon...
Thundercat cannon is the one that did that. Yes. Thunder
So
cannon,
boom.
man.
So that's some big points. 1,000 points. 1,100 actually with the general. So yeah. Boomtown. Over here I get some spells off. I get Deceptive Glamour. On the higher one to help out
that was
my
mainly for the hitting, wasn't it?
Yeah. And over here I get I think I get spell off on the levies. I can't quite remember, but I get Guiding Light off on the questers as well. But it comes at cost. I think I take 2 wounds from a miscast in doing so.
Yeah. And you also did Ice and Fire to the Frost Mammoth. Did 3 wounds.
Yes,
or something
Baller.
along those lines.
In fact, that might have been what it is actually. Got Guiding Light off because I got a Nair Strike off with my divination.
Maybe I stopped Ice and Fire.
Yeah. So that's good. This guy heals a wound, baby.
Oh, damn it.
Baby.
Yeah. I still haven't flipping killed it, and now it's within 12 inches of the catapult as well.
It is. My 2 trebuchets come on, and I think one of them hits and does a few wounds, so that's pretty. I'm pretty happy with that. As I said, the Swordmasters have fled, and the Knights go through your board boys pretty convincingly, and stay as they are. So, good job, boys. My ambushes also come on. We did this retrospectively because we've completely forgot about them coming on.
And I was kind to you and let you bring them on.
You were kind. I came on, thrown weapon, did some wounds, panicked, packed them off, and let's have a shoot off, boys.
Yeah, fortunately, I think my other bombardiers didn't panic. So it was that, at least.
The Gobbo continues to frustrate, but not frustrate me. In that regard,
this is uncanny. It's uncanny.
So I go in. I don't do any wounds. He doesn't do any wounds to me, and I win.
Run away.
You run away. You go 8. I go 7. It's exactly enough for you not to pop through the thing. It's exactly enough not for me to get you. Wonderful. We'll skip past the trolls going there as well. Because
I mean that was a double whammy. Because it's unbelievable.
But just amazing. Just that whole.
I charged those chariots into your spears in my turn 2.
It's insane.
They were meant to die in my turn 2.
Yeah, brilliant. This was brilliant.
Oh.
Over here, even more craziness happens.
Do we have to record the rest of this?
I continue to batter you in combat.
It's just so stupid.
And not only that,
I flee through the Madgear
and die and save my knights from any Madgear potential as well. So thank you very much. I've done
a few wounds to your initiative.
I'm on one blue left. So.
Yeah.
Gargantula dies. It's always gonna really. This was interesting. So this goes along. You are stubborn. I believe, or
bodyguard, stubborn. Bodyguard, which is stubborn character. Yeah.
I did a bunch of wounds. You did a bunch of wounds. You
killed my wizard. I think.
Kill your wizard as well. But you are stubborn because you've got a Onyx core guy in there, and we stick around. So that's really interesting.
Yeah.
This is now an overview.
I don't think it was the Men at Arms wasn't a spell. That was Alchemical Fire Inhibitor card. Yeah. But what you did get was you got a Orison to give them an Aegis save.
Yes, I did.
On the Men at Arms, which is why I couldn't kill that many of them.
Yeah. And this is how it looks as you see the Kinitas are on. And this is how it looks. I do 2 wounds to that other Kinita as well.
Yeah. We've also got a Green Knight randomly appearing.
Yes.
Is that where he ended up? I can't remember. Did he come on there? Or was he just placed there?
Yeah. I think he'd come on.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So, deceptively, I've changed the slaves into Feralogs because I needed the Saurians for a March for Victory, I think it was.
You did, yeah.
So I replaced them with Feralogs, and obviously replacing them as Feralogs means they have to charge! But this is another example of me just trying to get cruddy units out the way of my actual units, because I needed those Tusker Cavalry to really be the ones charging. And I had to settle with the fact that it was slaves. The Mounted Yeoman had done a great job in chaffing my Rock Uruk, so he couldn't get in. I was hoping you'd fail a non-rerollable 9 discipline terror check with your Mounted Yeoman.
Sure. Yeah.
Obviously, because obviously 9 is pretty decent, but not rerollable, meant there was a chance. And if I can get my Rock Uruk into the rear or flank of those Men at Arms, that is chompy time. But the yeomen hold up, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think there was a thing where the Tuskers couldn't charge past as well.
Yes,
even if you charged
if we could.
Yeah.
We looked whether all 3 could charge, but there just wasn't enough room, unfortunately. My Flintlock Dwarfs with the objective charge the flank of the Briar Beast. This is after the Briar Beast random moved into the Scraplings and fled, isn't it?
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah.
I think we missed that whole combat because the Briar Beast random moved into the Scraplings. The Scraplings won because they had ranks standard and did a wound.
Yeah.
You lost by 1, failed your break test, and so you're...
It was funny.
Something. Well, maybe you're unbreakable. I can't remember how it worked out, but or maybe you didn't charge them in the end and you turned around. Anyway, but yes, Kinitas charge into both trebs. That's beautiful. That's my favourite shot, really.
Yeah.
Favourite photo. This Kinita decides to not give you a stand and shoot with your archers and to charge the rear of Deathwish and/or Kamikaze. Whichever one he is, I couldn't see his toe, so
no, exactly.
Back of his ear, whichever
it's not good angle.
No, and makes it into the rear of the eagle as well, actually. So good for him. Over here, elsewise, I've now got a big unit of beast herds in my grill. That's a problem, and in some ways,
and
having my reinforcements. In some ways, having my reinforcements come on before your reinforcements, it felt like my reinforcements were spent, and yours were only just coming on. But that's because I just lost so much up until now, you know. It was really hard to tell who was winning as the battle was going on. But it was getting to this stage where I was like, I'm running out of units. Why am I running out of units? Oh yeah, they're there. I moved my... I actually didn't kill the Flame Phoenix last turn. Oh no, it regrew, didn't it?
Oh yes, yeah.
Came back from Warden's Bond or whatnot. So a Rock Uruk has stayed around to shoot it again. And the other Mammoth Hunter has gone to try and kill the dragon. with another hunting spear.
Mm-hmm.
And over here, we're not in combat. Gobbo and the Seagull are not in combat. But Gobbo rallies! He's on his own discipline!
He's an absolute
don't
hero.
be fooled by the fact I've got the ogres behind with the general BSB of the ogres. That doesn't help.
Great.
That doesn't help Gobbo with his discipline. Gobbo's doing this all by himself. And yeah, Gobbo's still in the way of the bruisers. I've lost a few Iron Orcs. Cannon has turned to point blank look at the Griffin. Like literally, you can see
just polished up
an
ancient dragon, you know.
He's just fired off an ancient dragon. Surely the Griffin is like piecemeal. Surely.
Yeah.
And that's about it. I get Cloak of Cinders off on the Iron Orcs. That's mainly for shooting, actually, more than anything else. I get Totemic Summon off with my Ogre Shaman, just to hopefully come on and help if the Immortals can hold on. I shoot a few of the Wild Horns. Is that what they were?
Yeah, Wild Horns and the thing, but not to great effect. I think you had a bit of a poor.
Yeah, there wasn't many hits, I don't think. But that's all right. Managed to kill the Phoenix, so easy come, easy go for that. Do I kill the Flame Dragon?
Can't remember, and I haven't put it down, so maybe not this time.
Not this time. Yeah, we'll see.
But we'll see.
But yeah.
We'll see.
I shoot my Flintlocks, who have rallied after the Flame Dragon came into its flank, and now shoot a few wounds off on Capclaw 2, which is nice. There you go. So it wasn't the hunting spears that did it. What is the least equipped unit? So, like, bearing in mind, a Scratterpult does not have a single hit rock. It does not have one. It's a strength 3 lethal strike. But I rolled a 6 to wound because I needed a 6 to wound, and you were like, "Oh, that's lethal strike."
It's lethal strike.
No armor. It's dead.
Yeah.
So why?
Oh,
after
brilliant.
all this, is a Scratterpult the one that does it? So
fantastic.
At least I've killed him.
Yeah.
Now, okay, right. How did this come about?
This was some sort of shooting.
Is this your turn or no?
No, this is your. So I've said about the trolls.
Oh yeah.
Trolls fleeing. This is they didn't rally. Your Flintlocks.
That's right.
No, actually, your
Flintlocks.
Flintlocks.
It's the Scraplings. The bows. Shoot at your Sea Guard and panic.
Kill 2.
Do 2 out of 6. And so, after all this going on in the middle, the Gobbo's like, "No, I wanted a piece of you." Oh, and it's just.
I'm showing Gobbo how to flee. Is what that is.
Exactly. Yeah. You're not in the way of your own units. Rock'n'Roll kills these guys, thank goodness. So yeah. Flintlocks kill the Briar Beast. That's all good. 2 Trebuchets dead. I like that picture as well. We can keep that picture up for longer if you want.
That's a good one.
Yeah, keep that one up. And Suicide or Kamikaze or Death Wish.
Yep.
Takes 2 wounds to a Kin Eater, but doesn't die.
And gets away.
So many things on 1 wound.
You think for someone so suicidal to actually flee, that would be well done.
Unbelievable. This fight, which we're not really talking much about the actual fight, it's going on. I'm being ground out basically. This is over like 2 or 3 turns of combat. The slaves, I don't know why I don't know my lessons. Just in a battle itself, right? I charge my slaves in to get them to die. The issue is they're against men at arms who aren't that really good at killing stuff. So the combat res, I'm bodyguard on my immortals, but my slaves, they get a break test that they can fail, and they can run away and stand right in front of my units.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I mean, I was really enjoying this battle, but there are certain elements of it that were really getting on my tits.
Oh, funny.
And I was just like, seriously, boys, could I just like pick up 3 or 4 of my units and just say I never deployed them?
Absolutely.
Because they were more on your team than on mine, honestly.
Yeah.
There you go. The Immortals are still technically there.
They are.
Over to you.
And on to my turn. So I find myself in a bit of a quandary with the
poor you.
Minotaurs. I know.
Poor you.
I know. Luckily, I've got Fly and you've got Fearless, so I just get him out the way with a charge into your 1 wound left, dude. I also take a long charge with the Minotaurs because I'm thinking, well, if I can charge that, then happy days.
Where's Gobbo gone?
He flees my Minotaurs. No.
Oh, yes.
You choose. Now you've got the option. You choose to get him out the way.
I do, and he finally does it. Yes.
He does it because he's told to. Yeah.
Yes. I choose to flee that because it's like a 10, your Minotaurs, isn't it?
Yeah. I
think it is. Whereas if you got a speed bump through Gobbo, which would have just been the icing on the cake, really. It would have. So I make it a long charge for the Minotaurs.
Yeah. And I decide now is the time to go in with my Fey Knight or whatever it is alongside with them. So we go into the Iron Orcs and see if we can do there. Hoping to do it this way so that I actually get decent coverage and reduce your attacks back on my Lion Guard this way.
Yeah.
Because of where the Yeomen are. So it was an interesting one. Let's go. And this was as much as I could get in. You are all in, but obviously with different things.
Yeah.
And my Minotaurs get in.
A 10, not Swift Ride.
It is absolutely the battle of the impact hits, and whoever goes in has a massive advantage. And unfortunately for me, I do. What's even better, I think, about this whole thing, and especially with the Gobbo, right? Suicide decides that he's going to continue fleeing because he's going to flee inside.
But where to?
And goes to there.
Chaps, why are the bruisers?
So, I mean, thankfully he will flee and they'll get a redirect. But it's just fantastic. And Seaguard Rally, because why not? The danger's gone.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, too right. Why not?
Goodness me.
The danger's gone.
Over here, the Peg Knights and the Wild Horns go into the Scratchpult.
Scraplings.
Trappers, and the Knights of the Realm go into the Bombardiers there. The Knights of the Realm at the bottom right take a long charge again with a reroll into the Flintlocks, using a bit of a cover before they charge in. I didn't
stand and shoot because I thought you might charge the Lion Chariot in. Yeah. Obviously, the moment I don't stand and shoot, you only charge with them.
Yeah,
absolutely. That'll just
sure. All get in as well, so it's all coming up. Absolute trumps for me in that regard. Over here, I also charge the Question into the Big Daddy, Rock. My Initiate goes to Chaff your Frost Mammoth, and my Feudals go into your Chaff there as well, to sort of round out the side, really. And as we said, this beautiful creature.
Good lad.
Beautiful creature. I rally here, and I continue to run here.
Yeah, that would have been literally the final nail in the coffin of the Swordmaster's rally at the end of the board.
But we have one more chance. Don't worry.
Yes, you do. Yes.
Over this way, this is sort of what it looks like. Not too much else moving around. Don't worry, Stoneheart is just there. He is not budging. With magic, I get some buffs off. I kill loads of stuff, which is great. And I choose to go like this so that I can claim the objective on my next turn, because this is turn 7, the bottom of 7. Yeah. So I need to claim objectives, otherwise I'm not going to get them.
Yeah.
So
which
I
is
go
a
like
risk
this.
with the Tuskers standing there.
Yeah, Tuskers are there, so I will have some impact, but I do reroll to wound against them, and I've got +2 offensive, agility, and all that jazz. So I'm in a good spot if you do, but it is a risk for sure.
Yeah.
Over here, I go through things, and my Peg Knights are now on the hill and just turn to face that way. The Green Knight is the multiple wounds against big, large target stuff, so it goes there. And maybe my Phoenix come back now. I'm not sure. Don't know why it would.
Yeah, maybe it was. No, I think maybe it hadn't come back last time, and my Rock Auroch and my Mammoth Hunter were both looking at the dragon, and they failed, which is why the Scrap Pot had to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the combats continue in the middle. That lord on a horse has been there years now.
Likewise
he
my
is,
BSB. Yeah.
Yeah, both of them are battle worn purely from this battle.
Yeah. Although now you have got the beast herds casting spells on him to buff you up, and I am taking wounds now. So.
Krugar's plus AP is superb against your tanky BSB. And the Flintlocks die, but are steadfast, I think. Well, no, not steadfast. Just hold, because I didn't do too much.
Didn't kill too many. Yeah.
I kill the Kineta and turn to face. And over here, it's the last of the Immortals. I think
it is.
I kill the Immortals and run down the Onyx Core with my Hippogriff, I believe is what this is showing.
Yeah, was the last man standing.
Yeah, and obviously he doesn't get bodyguard with nothing around him. No bodyguards to bodyguard. And the infantry just turn up that way to face, and we're in a good spot. Yeah,
there's a lot of enemy horrible units left on this board.
Yeah, and
it ain't getting any better.
It really doesn't. You do a bunch of wounds to me. So I mean, it started with 10, so you did like 10 wounds to me. However, I do enough. I do so many.
You just kill the bruisers. And leave
impact hits. I get awakened. I've got awakened beast off on them as well. It's brutal. It really is. And again, a cherry on the cake. I go enough to go into the fleeing trolls, and at that point, I'm facing this way.
Yeah.
It goes from bad to worse to kitchen pot. Black,
it's like every time you're trying to add a cherry on the cherry on the cherry, there's another cherry on the cake.
We've got a cake and a cherry and icing on the cherry to put another cherry. I mean, it's just obliteration. I think this was just purely. I did we didn't do too much in terms of wounds. I don't think. No. Just the combat res. You didn't do.
You did kill the character. You killed my own character. Meant I wasn't bodyguard, so that was all you really.
So you weren't bodyguard and weren't steadfast, crucially.
Yes.
Now as well. So
and obviously they haven't got their generals, so I think they only start at discipline 7 or maybe 8.
So that was enough, and you're fleeing, which is great for me. This is how it looks on the battlefield, and looking good for Team Lucky Sixes.
Absolutely, it is. Yeah, I think we've changed the arrow colour for this one. So don't be fooled. It's not Lucky Six's turn. It's try and get some points for Hyper G, really. I charged in my Mammoth Hunter into the back of the Flame Phoenix. Basically just thinking that I'll use my Rock Aura to fight the Green Knight instead, I think. The Scraplings, Trappers, decide to finally give my Infernal Dwarf BSB some reinforcements by charging into the flank, because we were locked in a duel there and had been for like 9 turns by this point. So to get a charge and a flank in to combat res might actually be pretty useful. So tried that out to help them out as well. This was scattering to the wind, basically, wasn't it? My Kineators basically just charged whatever was left of your middle, because now you'd pulled the trigger on the Lion Guard going forward. So my Kineators first charged the Sea Guard, then charged the Yeoman, and only gone and caught the Sea Guard. You might have learned how to flee and rally, but you haven't learned how to flee far enough. Awesome. My Kineator caught them and got some Sea Guard points. That's nice.
Yeah, really
I think we were like, I'll just roll my failed charge distance.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a 6/6. Is that enough to catch you? And it was by literally the inch. I think I needed exactly that. So yeah,
it's really good.
I decided to throw caution to the wind and charge this. I knew we were talking about the objective the whole way through, so it wasn't like it was we knew what we were all doing. My slaves were chaffing my other Tuskers, so I couldn't get both units in. And I thought, even with your spells, your spell off and everything like that, if impact hits does all right, and I can kill 2 or 3 of you with impact hits, then I might be able to do enough to hold this or win. And we'll see what happens, really. Yeah, over here, my Frost Mammoth charges into your initiate to try and kill his last wound off.
Yeah.
And over here, it was a little bit of a, I really don't think this is a good idea, but this is pretty much my last turn. I think this actually was my last turn, wasn't it? Because you had one more turn to claim the objectives.
Yeah.
And I just charged my giant in to see if he could do it. Didn't expect him to. The scraplings go and make it into the flank, which is a nice little thing. And oh my gosh. So this is my rally, I think.
Yes, you.
Yeah,
you
this
don't
is my rally.
With the Iron Orcs.
I don't rally the Iron Orcs. They flee, touch the scraplings, who flee from panic. So the Iron Orcs leapfrog over the scraplings to go off the board. The scraplings flee from panic. They hit the edge of the board, which causes a panic on my Scratapult. Oh no, sorry, the Gobbo actually didn't rally either. He fled. Yes, it was his fault. He fled through the Scratapult.
He kept fleeing. He's just doing what he's told, you know.
This time, yeah. And the Scratapult didn't survive the panic check either.
Yeah.
And so, in the space of, well, I mean, none of them are, well, Iron Orcs obviously withstanding. You know, that's a lot of points to lose.
If I move us ever so slightly as well, you'll see a lovely character, winged beast, over there. Not getting.
Threw that in. He
not
didn't
getting
get point blank
cannoned.
I think I missed. I think I rolled like a 2 to hit.
Yeah.
Like that. I was hitting on a 4 or something. I don't know what it was. But...
Yes.
I like that you've added in a unhappy blue face because
it is.
It wasn't going well.
It was sad.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this is how it all looks.
Yeah, I think I decided against charging the Rock Orc into the Green Knight because of that multiple wound thing, and just moved him elsewhere. My Mammoth Hunter did charge into the Phoenix. I think elsewise. What happened to this? Yeah.
Bombardiers go as far back as possible.
Yeah, into the corner. Your Wild Horns have killed my other Bombardiers, so that's fine.
Yeah.
My Bruisers turn to face the Minotaurs, but I think there is a Sabertooth in the way. So we know we're probably not going to get that fight as well. Over here, I moved my Tuskers up. What happened to my slaves?
They must have fled as well.
Yeah. Yeah, or something's run them down, I'm not sure. And yeah, I'm just running out of units over here, really. The cave goblins in the water are holding strong, though. You know, they're all right.
Yeah.
And with my witchcraft wizard, I think the only wizard I had left was my witchcraft wizard.
It was. Yeah.
So yeah. And yeah, then I opened up with the Naphtha thrower, which finally was in range of the Lion Guard.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it does all right against infantry elves.
Yeah.
There's a very good reason why you kept on moving out of range of that Naphtha thrower, and this is the reason.
Just brutal.
Just literally neutered them, guys. I do a hunting spear on Kruger, do 1 wound, which is fine. Shoot and kill a couple of Peg Knights. This was before the update on the Peg Knights, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so they had 3 wounds each and less armor. I think you've now killed some more flintlocks in the water.
Yeah, I killed the flintlocks. I finally kill the BSB as well.
But now you're fighting scraplings.
But now I'm still fighting.
You've still got to sit there. Yeah.
The initiate dies.
Kills the initiate. No, that's all good.
The giant gets hoomed a little bit, but I think we both hold it.
I think so. I think we were doing a bit of a pillow fight over there.
Yeah.
Actually. And unfortunately, the Tusker does manage to kill 2 with impact hits, but I just don't kill any more after that. And this was you killed 2 of mine before I struck. That was great weapons, and 1 guy left didn't do much else. I think actually I might have directed all my attacks on the damsel and 2 wounds or something like that. I can't really remember.
Either way, it's minimal, and I decided not to go after you because I want to.
Because you're getting the objective. Yeah.
Objective. This was funny. You guys, you went in. I was steadfast, but didn't matter, and you got me.
Yes,
which is cool. But you then rolled double 1 to not get into my Flame Wardens, which is just incredible.
It was just silly game.
Oh, yeah, you didn't catch me, but I did fail most of it, and I run to there, taking loads more DTs.
That's it.
Through everything, and finally getting a gap. Leading us on to my turn, I pick up the token with the questers. I charge with them. He doesn't quite run off the board, so I charge with my griffin and catch with the griffin because it's a lot closer now. My flame wardens go into the tuskers, and my Fey Knight or whatever it is goes into the flintlocks, which has your spoil as well.
They were trying to keep quiet with that.
Yeah. I go into the chaff, and that's not the hardest thing they've beaten today. And yeah, over here was interesting. My Green Knight goes into your Hunter. That's an interesting one I want to see. Bombardiers get charged there by the Peg Knights, and I triple charge your Auroch to see if I can pin it off with Krugar and some impact hits, basically. My archers go a similar conga to where they could go, just to claim the objective as well. And that wraps up that side. Like so. That's, don't worry about that stuff in the middle, that's just dead stuff. So, at this point
there was some dead elves.
It looks like the giant's been caught as well.
Yes,
so maybe
he didn't stand much of a chance.
Combat Res, I think, did that job. And Stoneheart's coming out for a look to see what's as the dust settles.
Where do all these Equitane come from?
Right. I get Blooded Horn, which is great off of me.
I summon
high agility anyway. And I get Perception of Strength off on the Flame Wardens against Tuskers, as well as Melodis, so in a good spot. Over here, I win. Yes, I beat the Tuskers, and you flee, but I don't catch you. I do beat the Flintlocks as well, and they flee as well, dropping the spoil. I don't catch you, but obviously the objective point has gone there.
Oh, if only that was hold the centre, they would have been 5-0 up by then.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. My Lord comes over here to go against your flame cannon thing, but it doesn't matter because this is the end of the turns. I kill the Saber Tusk. I die at the top. I only do 3 wounds to your Mammoth Hunter, and he kills me back dead, which is
I think he had always hits on 3s at worst. So
or whatever he was good. So, I think my Peg Knights didn't quite get in, just which why I haven't got a picture of that. And I do manage to get the Auroch with lots of wounds coming back on me in several places.
Impact hits again.
But impact hits, Krugar's Strength 7, Lance as well, and a mixture of things. Otherwise, everything else, that Lord is still in combat. He doesn't polish off the
no, he only killed 1. He was so knackered.
Trappers, just so funny.
Against the dwarf armor.
And you stick around, and that, my friends, is that. Well done. Have a drink.
Pat yourself on the back.
Well done.
I'm nearly out of water.
Before we get on to the end results, we will get on to day 2. Secret objectives, because obviously we had some more. Myself, I did terribly actually. Keep your most expensive wizard alive, nearly, arguably, if it wasn't for that Scratchpult, because obviously the Dragon Mage is dead. And bring it down. Oh, it's not being. I've not done that. Bring it down is kill all gigantic models.
Oh right, okay.
So which I didn't do.
No, so I had a fair few rock Aurochs coming on. And
it was actually the Frost Mammoth.
It was the Frost Mammoth surviving.
Was the one surviving that did it. But is that all you got? You got?
I did, yes. I had to kill the enemy's most expensive unit, which was actually the Flame Dragon, which was your most expensive wizard. So that was a complete turnaround of the secret objectives, actually. And then Knowledge's Power, keeping your most expensive wizard alive. He was the ogre wizard in the Bruisers that got killed by Minotaur. But I did win 1-0 on objective.
Day 2 you won 1-0. Smashed me up. Which led us to the end. And well done. As I said, a mega battle, very very fun. Thank you once again to all the Patreons. It really upped the ante of fun for us, and I hope we were as engaging to you guys too as well. Left out a bit of the last minute details just so that you could enjoy this this battle report as well.
This 9-hour-long battle report.
Absolutely. But yeah, so we get onto it and we get to the results. And
wrong one.
Wrong one.
There you go. We could probably see it was going that way.
Yeah,
the last 20 pictures or so. But yeah,
it was the central mini battle. I think,
and
that
blockage
sort of tipped it, and blockage of
I honestly felt like I didn't make any decisions for like 3 turns in the middle.
It was funny, man.
Yeah.
So 18,000, so nearly 19,000 points. Plays nearly 11,000 points. So that's cool. In terms of objectives, I actually won 2-0 because of Flintlock's dropped theirs at the last.
Yes, the spoils.
In terms of secret objectives, we both got 2.
Yes, you were 2-1 day 1. I was 1-0 day 2.
Yeah, and that made the objectives obviously counts as full-on points as well. So on regular points, it was 14-6, changing to an 18-8.
Yes, which is a really weird system to play.
It's hard to get your head around, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
But yeah,
awesome.
really good battle, and. We hope you enjoyed the different style and a bit of, like we said, something different.
Just as having a bit of fun, really, wasn't it? You know.
Yeah.
Getting all of our models on the table. It's really cool.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we are gluttons for collecting models, and
absolutely.
I know we're called Proxy Table Gaming, but that was all the models that they were supposed to be, pretty much.
Right. That was pretty
a few
cool.
ogres, arguably as different ogres, etc. But yeah.
I mean, we've probably said it before a few times, but we would definitely recommend mega battles for people that just want to have a bit of fun, because so much stuff happens, so like so many different stories. Like, and even from this one, like we've had things from ages past, but like even this one, like the Vanguard in Madgits will always be in our memories and things. And what I guess from your boys' point of view, if you're still listening and watching, well done. But give us your best moments of this mega battle.
Favourite moments, absolutely.
Of what you think happened. You can do what you would do differently if you like, but I think this is more what your...
That'll list the 50 things you would have done differently.
Yeah, that's a long one. But and let us know about any stories you have from your own mega battles. We're really interested to hear that as well. Yeah,
really great. And thank you to you for getting all the pictures, annotating it all, doing your bits. Really great work, and the thumbnail and all the graphics. It looks awesome. I think everyone will agree. So well done, Lucky Sixes. It's doing a great job on that, because you know what I'm like with graphics. That'll do.
I like it's the pretty colours, right?
So, yeah.
It's just pretty colours.
Yeah.
Let us
really
know on the sound as well, how that works, all the graphics and everything. As usual, like, share, subscribe. As we said, do check out our Patreon, because we're definitely going to be doing more of that in the next coming year, and trying to engage with as many of you guys as possible in different ways. It was really fun for us, so we really want to do that some more. I say, let us know about all your Mega Battle stories, because we're eager to hear.
And if you have any ideas for future Mega Battles, because you know we're always open to other things. Because, you know, I'm not sure we could do much bigger than 50,000 points.
We could try.
Took a long time.
It did. It did.
You know, I mean, I don't know how much annual leave you've got for your job, but I used up most of my yearly annual leave.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So, absolutely. Any ideas for future battles? And also, I guess, from the objectives point of view, did you like the hidden objectives idea? And how would you spice it up if you were going to do it yourself? So
lovely. So thank you for watching. If you got through it all in one shift, then you've done very well.
Really good.
If you haven't, you still got through it. Overall, you've still done very well. So we will say adios for now. And I guess we're shortly going to be hearing about your ETC performances as well.
Yes, that's next up. Very
coming up
excited.
soon. Looking forward to that. So it all keeps on happening on Proxy Table Gaming. So fingers crossed. Come on, Team England. Come on, Team Lucky Sixes.
But until then, as always,
Yeah.
See you later.